Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Medieval Kingdoms Total War. Today we have an epic river crossing battle. So I am playing as the Kingdom of Poland and my friend Pixelated Apollo is playing as the Kingdom of Sweden. Now I'll just go into slow-mo very quickly so we can kind of see the overview of the forces. This is like a dual battle for the crossings here. So Pixelated Apollo, he outnumbers me by about 1,000 men and he also has the advantage in infantry here today. So I do have the advantage in missiles, however his units do have a slightly longer range with his longbow bondier. So he also has a lot of units of herdmen. So he has a lot of sword infantry today. And he has some Swedish knights, lots of axe bondier and a couple of units of mercenary men at arms. Now we have a bit of a battle going on here between the onagers, trying to fire down into each other's lines, try and, soften them up a little bit. And on this flank, we have our artillery pretty much just taking out each other's. And I pretty much have an army consisting of Pavise spearmen over here. And we also have a few units of heavy axemen. And we have a lot of cavalry over here today. So we have some mounted crossbow sergeants, a couple of Polish knights. So that's all we have on this flank, really. This is kind of a lightly defended one. More of like a sub-battle we were using it for. I do have 4 units of handgunners. Kind of looking where they can hit the troops. Now, I know what you're thinking. I usually play rather defensively. You'd be right. However, I'm not doing that today. This pretty much went straight in. So, he kind of had the advantage of range, and that is taking out a lot of my halberdiers. So he had the advantage of range, he was getting some decent shots with the artillery. This was only a friendly match, so it was just kind of like, we were having fun, having a chat, having a bit of a catch-up. We haven't really spoken for a few weeks. So we decided to have a Medieval Kingdoms game while having a bit of a battle. So, I launched the first attack across the river. I launched it a bit of a double-pronged attack, so I also launched an assault on this flank as well. Just marching in slowly in shield wall. So I don't really want to take any unnecessary casualties. But we've pretty much taken out each other's catapults. And that's that battle pretty much done. So I'm going in hard. Artillery shots going in here. I try and divert the attack to try and take out a few of their artillery pieces. Because they're still inflicting heavy casualties. So as you can see around here, I'm trying to get around the flank, which I start to do to an extent, and I was hoping to kind of put pressure on him, but really he outnumbers me vastly in infantry, so I think mine is slightly superior. I know I'm starting to get some shots off on the axe bondier. My handgunners aren't really in range. My archers, however, can get some decent shots on. I did not anticipate a counter charge there. I think when you're commanding, we're basically commanding large armies. So we have I think he had 1 unit more than me. And once again, we have a few units that are starting to rout. And I didn't really have much choice in the battle, but to kind of try and go head on in, try and take out the mercenary men at arms, which are probably going to rack up the kills. But I saw my chance to create a little gap here, so he isn't really... Yeah, well... There's a slight gap, which we'll see what I try and do in a second. But I do very much like the... It's just so atmospheric, this mod. It's just brilliant. Especially these two factions, such bright colours. As you can see, I'm sending some cavalry slowly across. I'm trying to figure out if I can actually get over there. Some more men broken, so my push through here isn't going as planned, unfortunately. Which is not good. We do have the archers all kind of in position though, so we are firing down onto their position. Oh, that was a blast of a hit. Oh my god, so many men are just burning to death there. And at this point, I think no, they just routed. Okay, so I hadn't called back my attack. Here, I actually managed to get some cavalry round and start actually getting up and in the archers here. So my Polish knights going on in. But as you can tell, he's quickly trying to plug the gap. And I can't get my cavalry through quick enough. Oh wow, did you see that guy's helm? Look at that!
Our men return to the fight.
And as you can see, the infantry fight isn't really going my way. And I'm actually losing men a lot quicker than he is. So if we go for these like close shots here, they do look fantastic. But at this stage, I was still kind of confident of victory. And as you can see, the balanced power is in, you know, very, very slightly in my favour. So it's a shame I couldn't get these guys to rout a bit quicker, as he's sending cavalry in to essentially countercharge my... Oh, that's going to be a nice charge. To countercharge my my seizure here. So here I'm just trying to hold my, I guess, breach, which hasn't really formed. And at this stage in the battle, I'm not really sure that I'm going to be able to get across. And you're going to be hearing screenshots, just because I like... It's just nice when I get a nice... I just like the red versus blue and yellow. It does look stunning. So over here, I figured that I'd try and get my cavalry across while I still have the little open breach here. And now the cavalry are kind of engaging each other. However, he's got another unit of Swedish knights going in from the rear, and he's pretty much got this gap sorted. So I am not very confident at the minute. But if my cavalry can win this engagement, we do have a good chance. So I start withdrawing my archers back onto this side of the bank, and the handgunners can actually start sending some shots in now as well. Which is what we want to see, because they do have a very poor effect on morale. Trying to get a nice little point of view from the handgunners there, but you can't really from this angle. Damn.
Our men are rallying. They're not done yet.
Fighting in the reeds.
Enemy units have been rallied.
So I'm starting to pull back from this breach now. Trying to pull back all the men I can. But Pixie sees this happening and is actually going to chase them down, which is kind of annoying. So I do eventually sacrifice a unit here. And let's take a little look while we're doing the withdrawal. Let's go into slow-mo just so we can kind of see this on over here. It's kind of going... It's just a bit of a mess on this flank. So my line is still holding. We're causing a bit of menace to Pixie's line. But really my cavalry's been decimated. There's not really much of it left anymore. But I do send in the reinforcements along with the grand banner of Krakow. But let's go back over to this flank. So men withdrawing, kind of in good order, but not really. So we actually have a thin line to try and hold them. And at the minute, it's not really looking good for my line here. But the handgunners do have a decent kind of firing arc going on.
Take them down, boys. Bastards, I will cut out your hearts and eat them.
And my spearmen should be able to hold the position fairly well. So, I mean, it's not hopeless by any means, and Pixie realises this. And as you can see, look at the morale effect he's having on all of his units. So, at this stage, my confidence is starting to increase a little bit. So we're going to continue firing into them. Not a whole lot they can do until they get out of range. And I have enough men to try and hold the bank here for quite some time. And we're still going to keep on firing in So over here, things are getting a little bit desperate for me. I couldn't get the cavalry out like I wanted to. I probably should have pulled them out in hindsight, but again, it's just a friendly battle.
Men are running. Stand and fight, damn you!
And really, this engagement on this flank is starting to go Pixelated Apollo's way. So where I had the missile superiority, this is probably what I should have done from the start. Wait until Pixelated Apollo comes across the bank. I do have decent firing arcs, and as you can see, the bodies littered with Pixelated Apollo's dead troops trying to get across the breach here. So that's probably a few hundred men we actually managed to slaughter with them trying to cross the breach.
Your men are running, cowards!
But here, the longbows are able to fire in, and I can't really do a whole lot. I probably should have just endured his fire for as long as possible and waited for him to come to me, because I am more of a defensive player traditionally, but I figured I'd try and give it a go. Here, I would think I was focusing on this engagement, and yeah, not going my way at all. So I was going to try and pull back my remaining units and try and hold on my side. But really, because if they get through here, the battle here is pretty much, you know, it's lost.
A unit is running from the enemy!
So they're charging. Oh no, they're not charging. But how many kills have my handgunners got so far? 112 on this unit. 53. 42. So they haven't got huge amounts of kills. But the morale impact is kind of worth it. And my archers are still kind of in range of a few of their units, so we're taking little pot shots. Like that guy, he kind of perished. Over here, it is very desperate for me. I mean, my men kind of putting up a little bit of a defence on this side of the bank, but for the most part, they're just getting the heck out of Dodge. They are not sticking around. But they do start to come back like one unit at a time, but really it's pretty hopeless at this point. As you can see, Pixelated Apollo is starting to surge across. Still got 10 minutes left of the battle though, so if you haven't watched it on Pixelated Apollo's channel, then you don't know who's going to win. Because despite being outnumbered, crap, almost 2-1 now, I could still do it.
A unit is running from the enemy!
But on this flank, I have well and truly lost the battle here. So I'm trying to form up just like one final defence here before they surge across, kind of go around the flanks. Charging straight into the lines. Thin line of troops, really not going to hold.
Our men are rallying! They're not done yet!
So as you can see, they're all close to routing, and yeah, there they go. So that's hopeless over here. So I can't really do much to try and wait Pixelated Apollo out now. However, inflicted some impact on the longbow Bondir, and I have one unit of cavalry left, Polish Knights, so I'm kind of sending them just to try and hold them off for as long as possible. And I also do redirect. I think, do I redirect any other forces? No.
This is shameful.
Yes, I do. I divert some archers to try and take some pot shots. So we'll just speed this up a little bit, as we're just kind of waiting for Pixelated Apollo to take up his position, try and seize the momentum now that he can pretty much attack me at will on my flank. And all I have to offer as resistance as a unit of Polish Knights. And we also have my Polish king. So where is he? Where are you, Kingy Winger?
The enemy have rallied their units.
I think that's probably him. Or him. Could be any of them. Where's the... I don't know where he's gone. So, at this stage, I was still kind of confident that my men would be able to hold. All very confident, because they're beginning to take. They're going to be, if they choose to cross the river, they're going to be taking a lot of fire especially from my handgunners. So, Pixelated Apollo starting to move more into position, and he's going to go for a bit of a push on this front as well. He didn't really need to, but as we were kind of, I've been saying a couple of times during the battle, it was just a kind of a friendly match, and the advantage definitely is with him. So if we go back into play, I'm trying to make sure kind of cavalry doesn't get around me too much, but also trying to make sure he takes a huge amount of casualties trying to cross this river. So handgunners firing in. And I do send one unit into their deaths. Heavy axemen to try and hold them at bay, even just for like a few seconds, so I can form a shield wall and get a few more volleys in. Over here, my general catches up with one of his units, the Swedish knights there. And we also have Polish knights, which I think, did they chase? No, I'm not even... What am I doing? I think I just was not paying attention there. So, we have an engagement here, and they've actually routed a unit of my spearmen with relative ease, the herdmen. And for the most part, the crossing's going a bit better than it did last time.
Our men return to the fight.
But I am managing to get some decent shots into this line here. Over on this flank, I do still have a unit of cavalry, which was causing a little bit of mayhem. My general is tying down one of the units of Swedish knights. But here we have the kind of flanking manoeuvre going in with the housecarls. My men aren't really going to be able to stand up to that. The axe bondier going in as well. Spear bondier. So, trying to turn to face them. Let up a few shots, but the housecarls are going in against the handgunners, and this is going to be, yeah, as you can tell, the housecarls are just wrecking the handgunners. So that engagement's going to go one way here.
The enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
Still tying down troops. So we're still managing to get some more shots off with the handgunners.
No longer in our favor.
And I was still causing a, causing a little bit of mayhem with this unit of Polish knights.
Men, run from the enemy. This is shameful.
But the envelopment is starting to happen. I'm now outnumbered over 2 to 1. Here the halberdiers can pretty much hold out for a little while. Handgunners keeping on firing into the ranks, although most of them have made the crossing now. So I'm just kind of firing and taking pot shots at anyone that I can. But housecarls getting in amongst the archers now. So this, again, is going to be a one-way engagement.
Our men are breaking off.
So little by little my men are starting to get enveloped. My king, however, does actually manage to rout the unit of Swedish knights. My Polish knights here are still having a good go. They're taking fire from the longbows. And I think they're getting attacked by mercenary men-at-arms. Rear charge going in by Pixelated Apollo here. And we'll just speed this up now, as you can tell. Yeah,
Our forces have
becoming rather unwinnable for me.
back to the fight.
Okay, so I have my handgunners. Going to begin to fire in some shots.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
Yep, so everyone has pretty much routed, apart from my king. I'm not really sure what I decided to do with him. I think I was just trying to get them away from the from the pole arms. And we decided to have a bit of a general
The
engagement.
whole unit has been destroyed.
And I kind of wanted to do a Kingdom of Heaven style charge. And yeah, so we start the engagement. Just the generals battling it out. His Swedish knights have 80. Mine has 49 out of 50. And then eventually kind of the rest of the army piles in, and you'll see that my kingy wing here is going to perish along with the rest of my army.
Cowards! Enemy units have been rallied.
So at the minute, I mean, the engagement is, you know,
They're not done yet.
my general's routing. I think pretty much all of my forces have at this point. Handgunners do come back, and pretty much this whole force chases them down. We have some housecarls coming in. We also have, yeah, just housecarls over here, spear bondir, all coming in to finish off the general. 15 seconds left of the match, and good game to Pixelated Apollo. So we'll end the replay, take a little look at the stats. So yeah, I was outnumbered by almost 1,000 men, and he just had huge swathes of infantry. Let's see what kind of units did the best. Halberdiers did well. My cavalry, not so much. The Polish knights did alright. Handgunners did pretty well. Archers got some decent kills. Pixelated Apollo, his knights did well. Housecarls, oh god, beastly units. Halberdiers, even his axe bondir did pretty well. So there we go. That was an epic river crossing battle. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, and until next time, everyone, I bid you a very, very good day.